This is your Fight Night first look at UFC 312 on Couch Potato Diary. In the main event, it is Dricus Du Plessis taking on Strickland for the middleweight title, one of two championship fights on this card, as the co-main event will feature the women's strawweight championship being defended by Zhang Weili taking on Tatiana Suarez. So, our first look at the championship fight in the main event, it's a rematch with Dricus Du Plessis against Strickland. It's the night that DDP won the title in the first place. And for him, he is just looking to continue to answer the critics. He has an unorthodox style that isn't always perfect, but effective. And so if you get another win over Strickland, after a win over Izzy, after a win over Whitaker, people are just going to have to accept that this works. That it is weird, it is unconventional, it doesn't look like anything anyone would teach at any school ever, and it never looks like it should work, but it's working, so we just have to accept it. And just, yes, that's what's happening, so we just have to grow with it. That's basically where we are at with Dricus Du Plessis. On the Strickland side of it, he is looking to get his gold back. He had the best fight of his life to win that title against Adesanya. Since then, on the wrong side of a split decision against DDP, and on the right side of a split decision against Paulo Costa. So it is weird to have a fight to validate a championship win, but I do think that he does have to prove a little bit more, that he deserves to constantly be at the high level and constantly be in the title picture. I think he deserves a championship rematch 100%. But I do think that you look at it as, okay, well, you had an amazing night against Israel Adesanya. Since then, it's split decision, and then a split decision over Costa does not look awesome on a resume. So, for a championship anyway. So I think that he needs to prove that he deserves to be at this high level in this bout. From a fight standpoint, one of the things, or the thing that I'm looking for is, this is now 26 minutes, the 26th minute, that Strickland is going to be dealing with the unorthodox stylings of Dricus Du Plessis. So can he figure that out? And if DDP is figured out, what is the plan B for him? Because oftentimes just being different is enough. And if Strickland has figured that out, then it's going to be difficult for him, or it'll be interesting and imperative even for DDP to have that kind of like, okay, where do we go from here now? What is the next plan in this? In the women's fight, strawweight championship, Zhang Weili taking on Tatiana Suarez. For Suarez, it's about time, man. She has felt like she has been the best women's fighter in the world at various different points. She just can't stay healthy long enough to prove it. This is her chance to validate all of that hype and all of the talk around her while she is healthy. While Weili is looking to add another great fighter to her resume. She has wins over Andrade and Joanna twice, and Esparza and Yao Nan. And yet it still feels like she doesn't get taken seriously as a champion right now. Like, she is just kind of the one who is, oh, and she is a champion as well. And then you just kind of move on in the discussions with her. I don't know if a win here over Suarez changes that discussion at all, but I do think it just continues to build up a resume that is becoming more and more difficult to ignore. Overall, the card kind of sucks. There isn't a whole lot on here, but there's at least some intrigue in these two fights. And now, it's not a great card, but we are going to keep previewing it throughout the week. We're going to be looking at the non-main event fighters, the fighters to watch on this card, and then the full preview coming up on Friday.